Welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch, episode 344.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy ketos.
Welcome back to the channel.
Good morning.
Welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch. If you are new here, this is Keto Beyond the Couch. We do this every Monday at 10 a.m. And we like to celebrate our subscribers on this. So we find success stories, progress reports, little things that will help inspire you, as well as answer questions and comments that we found off of our social media network like Mighty Networks, which you can join for free at members.twocrazyketos.com. So if you're new here, the way we do this, we're going to go over everything that we have pre-prepared, and we don't pay too much attention to the chat until like the last 10 or 15 minutes. So if you have a question, hold off till then, or use the super chat function because that's going to highlight our screen and let us know you have a question. We can answer it right away.
Good morning to everybody that may have the day off today, and so you're able to join in, and regularly you can't.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
The only problem is I put the garbage out this morning.
I don't know if we're going to have garbage.
I don't think they're coming.
Because our garbage isn't run by the city.
And I think that we're going to have garbage until Thursday. So now my prayer is I hope the dogs don't get into it.
The worst thing.
Because I'm not bringing it back.
The worst thing with no garbage pickup on a holiday is when our garbage day falls on Christmas.
Yes.
Because then you have 2 weeks in a row where you lose a garbage day.
Nuttin', honey. And you have all of the paper and the, fanfare.
So it's like if our garbage day is Monday, which it is, it's Monday and Thursday. So if I don't know when Christmas falls this year. So, but because you have Christmas and New Year's Day exactly a week apart, so you would have no pickup on Monday and then no pickup again the following, which is horrible with Christmas.
Right.
Because you're trying to dump all the Christmas stuff. I mean, we don't have that issue anymore.
Barbara says being retired means every day is a holiday.
That's true.
I love it.
So welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch. Today's sponsor is Salty.
Salty.
If you are new here, or if you're new to keto, one thing that's super important on keto is keeping your electrolytes up. And there are a lot of different brands out there, and we like many of the different brands. But Salty is absolutely our favorite, especially this flavor right here, because
not this flavor.
Salty is different than a lot of the other ones. Although the other ones are really good, most of the electrolytes on the market use maltodextrin in their natural flavors, and Salty doesn't. Salty actually uses gum acacia, so that really helps. Also, they don't use citric acid. They're using malic acid, and some people have an issue with citric acid. I personally don't, but I know some people do. And so Salty is really good because of those two things. And then also it has more potassium and more magnesium. In fact, more than double the magnesium in the other ones. And magnesium is one of the most difficult things to get on a ketogenic diet. So that's one of the reasons we absolutely love Salty. Plus, they have amazing flavors.
They're really delicious.
Including Radical Grape. They have the Bomb Pop flavor, Cherry Chill, you name it, they have it.
I definitely
Except
know
for pineapple.
That even though the weather is changing, and I've got to say the last couple of days have been absolutely freaking lovely here in Florida. We've really enjoyed the weather, but I'm still out all day working outside, and I still need to get my electrolytes in. So it was funny that like yesterday, I even said to you, go back and make me another one, because it was, it was getting to me, even though you're not sweating. Don't think that just because you're not sweating doesn't mean you don't need electrolytes.
You absolutely need electrolytes. So if you need to get some electrolytes, check out the link down below or the one that's on the screen. And when you use that link, you will get 10% off.
Man, Barbara just said Christmas is on a Thursday this year, which is a garbage day, which means that New Year's. But you know what? We're empty nesters now. We don't have...
Plus, we get to burn the boxes.
Exactly. So we don't have, anyway, the amount that you did, of Christmas debris.
Yes.
When you have kids at home.
Let's start off with a couple of quick announcements. We put up a video the other day. Just wanted to if you didn't see it, let everybody know. We have announced the 2026 2KK Getaway Cruise.
Yes.
We will be traveling on between October 4th to October 11th. On the MSC Seashore from Port Canaveral, which is Orlando, Florida. We're going to Nassau, Cozumel, Costa Maya, and then Ocean Cay. with the Marine Reserve, which is basically MSC's private island. We're super excited about this year's cruise or next year's cruise. I'm really excited for this year's cruise because it's 10 nights.
Yes.
Or 9 nights, I guess, 10 days,
10 days.
right? But we're super excited about next year's cruise. We're going to try a different cruise line, and it's a 7-night cruise, and we got amazing deals. So we've got, I think you can get an interior cabin, the whole cabin, port fees, taxes included, is like $1,100, something like that.
Crazy cheap.
You can get an ocean view balcony for just under $1,600 for 7 nights. That's insane. Like that's the price of a 4-night cruise.
Right.
And I was able to secure, I think I have 2 or 3 more of the Aurea balconies, which is really cool. I do want to let you know we are more than 50% sold out already.
Yes. That's super exciting.
We do limit the cruise to 100 people. So I guess technically we're not 50% sold out, or we're right at that because we have a few solo cruisers.
Right. But cabin wise.
But I've got a few extra cabins. But we really appreciate everybody for jumping in early because I have to put down a $50 deposit in 20 days on every cabin that we don't yet have booked. So I really appreciate everybody joining in. But again, I think this cruise is going to fill up, and I'm pretty insistent, unless everybody decided differently, which I don't see, of no more than 100 people, because then you can't foster community.
Right. We want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to be able to visit with one another. And that can be really hard as you get into like the hundreds. Crystal has a good question. Going on a cruise soon, can I put daily minerals in a 3-ounce travel bottle?
So here's the cool thing. Cruise lines are not like, they're not like, airplanes where it's got to be in a 3-ounce bottle. You can just pack it in your luggage. I would advise, that's a medicine, technically, but not technically. So that's not like you're bringing alcohol or something like that. So you can put it in your carry-on. You can put it in your main suitcase. Personally, I would bring it in your carry-on or your purse, even though it's a big bottle. Don't worry about it. The reason I would suggest not putting it in your main luggage is when you put your main luggage on a cruise, it runs through an X-ray. And if there is something that they think is a prohibited item,
they'll just take it out.
They will take it out, and then they basically take your luggage down to the concierge or the guest services, and you have to go to the naughty room and explain what you had. Right. So not so much with that, but you don't want them to mistake, what was this? If you're bringing like a big, big bottle. If you're bringing a 3-ounce bottle, definitely don't worry about it. But I would just take it in your carry-on or your purse or something like that. For those of you who do go cruising, also know that you can't bring extension cords on cruises. You can't bring irons. You can't bring steamers, and those are the naughty room things.
Right.
So just be careful. But yeah, you can absolutely bring it on. Some cruise lines like Royal Caribbean allow you to bring on 12 packs of soda, but it's always got to go through your carry-on.
Now, I understand totally if you are taking a plane to the cruise port first that you've transferred it into a 3-ounce bottle because of what the airplane requires.
On an airplane, we always just put it in our packed luggage.
Yeah. Hey, Trish.
Chris said, last cruise, I totally brought a travel router on Royal Caribbean, didn't even notice. Well, the travel router, I know. So all the cruise lines have banned travel routers. Now, they say it interferes. I think it's more of they don't want it. They don't want it. But the thing is, the travel router that you and I have, Chris, it looks like a battery bank. I think that's why they don't notice it. Because it looks like it's very small and it looks like a battery bank. There's no antennas or anything like that.
Yeah.
Stephanie said, I wish there was somewhere I wanted to go on a cruise besides Alaska or Hawaii, so much further away, not interested in Mexico or other islands. See, for us,
it's about hanging out.
It's about hanging out. It's not about where we're going.
I don't care where we're going.
And as a matter of fact, like Costa Maya, we just went to Costa Maya, which was not planned. Then we're going there on low carb cruise, and then again on the other one.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's more about community and being on the ship.
Yeah.
Especially the larger ships. There is so much to do. For us, it's not about a destination.
It's not about seeing something. It's nice when you see beautiful, mountains or, you see beautiful ocean, but like nothing is as beautiful to me as you, Steph. Like that's who I want to say. I did see before we move on, I saw Mary and Gail both reminding us Canadian Thanksgiving
Oh, that's
going
right.
on right now. So if you are watching from Canada, happy Thanksgiving to all of our Canadian friends.
The other thing I was going to say before we moved on from the cruise thing is listen, cruising is a way to get a taste of the destination, but you're generally only there for about 8 to 10 hours.
Right.
So, it's a way to get a taste of the destination and go, would I want to come here longer?
Like Puerto Rico, I want to go and stay there
You
longer.
want to be there for like a week.
I do, because but I would not have known that thing unless we had gone on the cruise.
Like even Alaska, like I want to spend like 5 days in just Alaska. Like
Yeah.
I could spend 2 or 3 days alone in Skagway. I mean, there's
Yes.
just so much to do.
I love that.
And just like I would go hiking and stuff every day. So it's a good way to get a taste. Like my absolute like dream cruise would be going to like Greece and stuff and to go to
We wanna
all
go
of
to
the different
Ephesus.
places, go to Ephesus. But I know like I'm going to be disappointed taking a cruise and go to Ephesus because I'm going to get like 4 hours there.
Right.
And really to walk in the footsteps of Paul.
Hello.
I mean, the person who wrote most of the New Testament.
Yeah.
I need more than a few hours. Like I need several days. And so now I've kind of backtracked and like instead of taking a cruise to Ephesus,
That might
like
be where we
find a pastor who really knows Ephesus and do like an Israel trip, but to there.
Yeah. I
because
agree.
I don't think I'm going to get enough there. Okay, let's move on. One other announcement real quick. We did want to let everybody know.
Yes.
We are going to be speaking at Meatstock, which is the first weekend of May. I think it's May 2nd and May 3rd. Yes, it's on here. And so there's a couple of different options. Right now, they're having some like early bird deals. So you can stay in the cabins and have the full experience where like food and all of that stuff, or you can just come for the conference. And they are having some really good deals on it right now. So you might want to check it out before the early bird deals go away. And if you use the code 2crazyketos,
$50
you're
off.
going to get $50 off.
The good news is too that it's in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So if for some reason you're like,
there's a lot to do.
I just want the ticket, there's going to be a ton of places like hotels.
Yes.
And Airbnbs in that area. So like you don't have to feel like you have to get the cabin experience. There's plenty of, and like you're saying, there's plenty of surrounding things to do there.
Yeah.
Our kids just got back from doing Dollywood.
Yeah.
And they absolutely loved it.
Yeah. Stephanie said, I've never gone on a cruise. I don't know if I can do it. Rachel felt the same way.
Totally.
2.5 years ago, and now she's done 12 cruises.
Love it.
So it's just a lot of fun. I would definitely say stick to bigger ships if you really want a lot to do. But super excited about that with Meatstock. Let's get into our first comment from Kelly.
Kelly P.
Said, get back up no matter what. You can take a break. You can be sad, depressed. You can feel defeated, but do not quit. Life is a funny way of turning full circle for those who refuse to give up and get back up.
I love that. It's so true. Honestly, hang out with Kelly P. I'm so excited that she's coming on the getaway cruise, the birthday cruise, in December. So I get to hang out more with her. If you've been in Mighty Networks for like a second, you know that Kelly P is so inspirational and she has such an incredible story. She is not just putting this out there. She has lived this thing where you get knocked down and you get back up again. And I love that we don't have a permission slip to just quit. We go through seasons of life, and sometimes things are hard, and sometimes we fall down and get bruised and break things in the meantime. But that is not a permission slip to just stay down.
Yeah.
Right? If you're still breathing in and out, then you need to get back up again.
Yes.
Like that's the goal.
Trish said our next cruise is in a month. England, France, Spain, Portugal, Azores, crossing, Caribbean, and then Florida, long trip.
How nice.
Trish and Bob, they're my spirit animal.
They're my heroes.
I mean,
that's awesome.
They love to cruise.
She also,
and they've really inspired us.
I think you missed it earlier. It looks like she was giving us some other advice in addition to being careful about like what you pack as far as like no irons and no things for like taking out your wrinkles. She also advises no furry handcuffs. that will absolutely get you pulled over. That will have a conversation.
Can we say what I said
That
to you?
is awkward. That is awkward. No, we've had that conversation on our last cruise.
She got stopped.
Yes.
And I was like, what do you have in there?
I mean, he totally was like such, and this could have completely derailed our little couples cruise, because we're at check-in and they're going through the x-rays, and they stopped me for a second, and it was nothing, but Joe's like, what do you have in there? And he makes a big scene and people are like laughing at me, and I'm like,
I said, do you have like a bunch of sex toys or something? I was joking with her. The guy next to us just started cracking up.
I was like, I cannot believe you threw me under the bus like that hard.
Okay, next one is from JJ.
Hey, JJ.
JJ said, the past 5 years have been a wild ride. I've climbed mountains and I've stumbled valleys of despair. I've fallen more than once and I've gotten back up every time. If there is one thing this community has taught me, it's this. We don't give up. Here's to 50 more years.
I love this. I love you so much, JJ. So excited that you have crossed over.
JJ will be on the cruise.
That 50-year milestone. Yes, he's going to be on the MSC cruise. Do not miss out on meeting JJ and his beautiful wife. Like, such a fantastic couple. So excited though for like going on, what will be the birthday cruise next year? So I need to glean from you this year, because this is my 50th trip around the sun. So when we go on the MSC cruise, that'll be birthday, cruise for me, 50. So let me know what I have to expect this year.
Stephanie said, what's the shortest cruise? I'm not sure I want to start with 7 days. And that's a lot of people are afraid to start with 7 days. Rachel jumped right in with 7 days, but that's because it was a low carb cruise. That's why Royal Caribbean actually has Utopia of the Seas, which is a brand new ship. Usually new cruisers who are afraid to do 7 day cruises don't ever get on a new ship, because usually the new ships go to long cruises and they take the older ships and make them shorter cruises.
Yeah.
And so they launched Utopia of the Seas with the specific intent of getting new cruisers, seeing a new ship.
Highly recommend that one.
So 3 nights is generally the shortest, but I would never recommend a 3-night. Do 4 nights, because it's literally you get on and it's time to get off.
Yeah.
I would always recommend 4 nights. Next one is from Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Andy said, I want to send some encouragement to anyone who's begun this way of eating to help with blood sugar issues. I've been doing keto low carb for about 2 years. I've also been using a CGM off and on for over a year. It has been invaluable in learning what foods, what portion sizes, and food combinations are best for my body. Today, I had a routine fasting blood work, and my glucose level was at 87.
Wow.
A little over 2 years ago, I had been diagnosed as pre-diabetic. Keep at it. You can do this. It's not always going to be easy, and sometimes it will seem like a real battle, but you are worth this. You can do this.
Andy, gosh, it's like a mic drop, right? Yes, there will be days that are harder than others. But isn't that with everything that's worth having in your life? Isn't marriage sometimes harder some days than others, but it's worth it? Isn't having children harder some days than others, but it's ultimately worth it?
Yeah.
Like anything good, your health is worth it. It's weird to me that we still put that up for debate.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if I should even bother. What are you talking about? Should you bother? With your health? With eating right? With getting back up on the wagon and trying again? My gosh, it's your life.
Yeah.
Yes, you should bother. It's weird that you're asking that question. Yes, you should keep trying. Yes.
Trish said, just know those are very much booze cruises. That's why I never advise a 3-night cruise.
Yeah.
It's like bachelorette parties, bachelor parties.
Right.
We've been very blessed that we've never encountered. Maybe it's because we're on Royal Caribbean. Maybe it's because we go like Utopia of the Seas, which is a little bit more expensive than the smaller ships. So it attracts a different clientele. I don't know. We've been blessed, but 3-night ones.
I honestly, I'm actually going to disagree respectfully with Joe, and I'm going to say do an extended cruise. And I would say go on a cruise with us.
How are you disagreeing with me?
Well, here's why.
I just said that people like that. I think I say never do a 3. I think you start at 7.
I think you start at 7, and I think
people don't. I understand it.
But my thing is, there is something that becomes very relaxing about settling in.
Right.
You know, that can be hard. And, you know, any type of trip that you take where it's only like 3 days, like a weekend, you feel like as soon as you unpack your suitcase into the drawers in the hotel room, you're like packing them up again.
Yeah.
And it feels like a lot of like everything is embarkation day and disembarkation day. Right. So I think that if you go on a 7-night cruise, like, it's like any type of vacation that you go away for 7 days. It's a long time. A road trip that's 7 days is a long time, but it's going to give you enough time to like settle in and really relax and feel like, oh, okay, this is home for a little bit.
Yeah. Next one we have is from Melinda.
Hey, Melinda.
You know why I love this community? Y'all keep me accountable. With Joe's message about migraines on the live the other day, it really had me look at what I was consuming. Of course, I needed to tighten that up. I ditched the Crystal Light packs and the 1 Coke Zero a day. I've also am trying to eat more unprocessed foods. I'm bad about using low-carb bread products. Well, today is day 2 of being more strict, and I feel amazing.
Awesome.
I am my own worst enemy when it comes to my health. I swear. I think we are all our own worst enemy.
Absolutely. And here's if you can get over the hurdle of somebody like Joe or me saying, hey, I don't think keto bread is a good idea. Or I think you probably needed to tighten things up if you're not feeling good. I know that the first, at least for me, when someone speaks to me like that, the first thing I want to do is fold my arms and say, I'm an adult and I'm in charge, right? And assert my adulting by continuing to do this thing, even though I'm also sharing in community that like I have a headache or I have joint pain or I have some inflammation that's really frustrating me or I feel addicted to this thing. I don't like relying on this product as much as I do. Once you get past the thought of like, you know what, I'm just going to let that advice in. I showed up at the table for some advice. I'm going to take that advice and see what happens. On the other side of it, it's good things.
Yeah.
It's feeling better.
Next one is from Amy.
Hey, Amy, I drove to Culver's today to get the smallest child-sized turtle sundae. I was in the drive-up line thinking to myself, it's just a small treat. It won't hurt anything. And then Joe's voice popped in my head. It doesn't hurt. It causes me. It does hurt. It causes me physical pain. In one of the Keto Beyond the Couch episodes where he talked about how sugar and seed oils cause him physical pain in his ankle, I thought to myself, well, I don't have pain. But wait, yes, I do. I'm just not in pain right now. So I'd almost forgotten about the pain that I do keto to avoid. Isn't it funny how our mind can allow us to forget the pain we always experience after trigger foods in order to get a dopamine hit? I exited the drive-thru, stopped at Target, and picked up a pack of hot dogs. Crazy cravings be damned. I will not suffer today. I remembered.
I love that. And wow. It's very weird how, you know, a lot of times you don't know what you have until you don't have it. And you don't know what you don't have until you do have it.
Right.
So, you know, it's like, you know, I remember before keto going, I feel pretty good.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I start keto and you're like, whoa, I never felt good. Right. You know, because you get this different feeling. And then for me, like when you go a long time without pain, and then all of a sudden, you know, I have a day of, you know, I have a little bit of pain for something. I'm like, oh yeah. And so it is. That's why I say pain is a powerful motivator. And I love seeing this because this post and the other one is vindication for me. Because somebody always says I'm mean. I don't know who that person is.
I don't know who that could be.
This person says you're very mean and like you need to soften it up. But I believe that sometimes we need
hard truth.
Hard truth.
Yeah.
I need hard truth.
Yeah.
Right? I need to be told I'm a jerk sometimes. But I think we need that hard truth. So this is vindication that, see, sometimes it helps. But this is also, this post and the previous one is why we keep doing this. I look at our numbers and I look at like, you know, the channel being stagnant and I'm like, why do we do this? Maybe we should just do something else. Then I see something like this. I'm like, oh, we make a difference. That's why.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We make a difference.
Well, it was interesting this morning. So like the scripture for today was Psalms 34:14. And I actually wrote it down because I was like, whoa, because I don't sometimes bring this into like application when it comes to my health journey. But the scriptures, turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. And sometimes I think about that as far as like relationships, but it's truly about the relationship I have with myself. So I know I have rightly identified what is evil in my life when it comes to what I eat. I know what hurts me. I know what is undermining. I know what is evil to me. And so it's like, turn from that thing, do good, seek peace and pursue it. So like you guys are saying, the peace that I'm looking for is a pain-free life. It is ease. It is not dis-ease. So I need to pursue the thing that is not going to hurt me. Easy, cheesy, lemon squeezy, we can do this. Now, I did see Kelly ask, on the December cruise on Royal Caribbean, are you permitted to bring on some like sodas of your own?
On Royal Caribbean, you can bring, okay, listen carefully. You can bring a 12-pack of soda or 12 bottles, or actually, 12 cans or bottles, like bottles of water, cans of soda, that kind of stuff. You could bring 12 of them up to 16 ounces. It's supposed to be per cabin.
Right.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay. This is just Joe speaking. Take with this information what you want.
I'm afraid now.
You have to put it in your carry-on, either in the carry-on or carry it through separately. So you can just have a 12-pack of soda in your hand and you put it on the belt when you go through security at the port.
Yes.
They have no idea when they are screening at the port, going through, when you go through the metal detectors, they don't know who's in what's cabin.
Right.
Okay? So if Rachel is traveling and she has 12 cans, and I'm traveling and I have 12 cans, they don't know that Rachel and I are in the same cabin.
So you might be...
Do with that information what you want.
Okay.
Okay? You can also bring 1 bottle of wine per person. Adult person, obviously. Okay?
Not by toddler.
Okay, but it cannot be putting that in your checked luggage, that will get you called to the naughty room.
Right.
Okay. But you can bring Celsius. Like I brought cans of Celsius and things like that. I saw Trish say you can bring Celsius powder sticks, but I would not recommend that because it has maltodextrin, which she actually put in there.
So MSC
does not
allow what Royal Caribbean allows.
And I was talking to Anthony because he's been on MSC and I have not. But and he was like, yeah, it's like you always are going to give up something to get something. That's just life. You give up something. Cheaper cruises, but they get you somewhere else.
Yes.
It's like you can go on Virgin Voyages and everything is included. Although they did just recently say that gratuities are no longer included. Now you have to pay gratuities. Before they were included. But you pay more for it. So you're going to pay one way or the other, you pay.
And like Trish is saying, on Royal Caribbean, you can actually bring a 12-pack of sodas or water on board from each port you come back from.
Yes.
So
Carnival too.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Has anyone heard about or used different amino acid supplements for food craving or noise? I've been watching a Kick Sugar Summit, and one speaker discussing food addiction says they can be helpful. So yes, amino acid supplements can be helpful. But you know what else? There's still a lot of research being done on amino acids and food noise, with like one of the things like tryptophan and that kind of stuff. That is one of the reasons GLPs work. Okay?
Right.
Which... beyond, like, a lot of people don't even realize GLPs are actually naturally occurring in your body. Okay. It's just that our hormones get screwed up, especially when you have metabolic issues. There are foods like allulose that can help with the increase of GLP-1s, but that's exactly how it works, right? It's you're basically taking a peptide, or it is a peptide. You have amino acids that help to, with the hunger hormones and help to like make you feel full and satiety. Now, GLP-1 injections like Ozempic do other things like slowing down digestion and stuff like that. But it's one of the reasons they work. So yes, amino acids can help, but you know what else can help? eating a bunch of beef
Yes.
because that's got all the amino acids you need.
Right.
You know, so I think that we have to look at, you should be trying to get your amino acids first and foremost from food, not from supplements. And then kind of focus from there. But
And
they
it saves
can
money.
help. Yeah. Next one is from Bertha.
Hey, Bertha.
Where can I buy your chickens? I live in the Claremont area. Do you have a
Nice.
website that you can mention on the next video? So we have a website, but we haven't done anything with it. It's just kind of like a landing page. We cannot legally sell them on the internet.
Right.
Okay, that's the way. You can't sell them across state lines. You can't sell it on the internet, that kind of stuff. It's just the way our permits work. But we can, we are in the Orlando area all the time. We'll be up for the Central Florida Keto Meetup in a couple of weeks. Or you can come down here and we can kind of arrange, we can meet halfway or something like that.
So just let us know.
Shoot us an email at any one of our emails. And just let us know that, hey, I'd like to get some chickens and stuff. We also have eggs. Next one is from Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
When you do intermittent fasting, 12-18, how do you keep from not being hungry?
Oh, okay.
What's your first recommendation?
My first recommendation is to eat a sufficient amount of food.
Yes.
So the problem that I see, and why some people are like, oh, I can't do it, is because they're trying to diet, calorie restrict, and intermittent fast in order for them to really super duper pooper calorie restrict by calling it something that is more desirable, right? We don't want to say we're starving ourselves like we did in past diets. We don't want to say we're starving ourselves. We're just doing it with different food this time. That's what I see a lot of happening. Right. So if you're like, I really want to be successful and I want to intermittent fast, then when you are eating, you need to eat and you need to focus on things that it's going to satiate you. Right? So you want to make sure you're eating an adequate amount of fat and protein. And that fat, especially an adequate amount of fat, is going to help you stay full for that long period of time that you're going to give it nothing.
Yeah. So, okay. To add on to that, step one is eat the proper amount of food and the right food. Remember, you're basically taking 3 meals and shoving it into 2. Unless you're going to eat 3 meals over the course of 8 hours, which most of us on keto are not, because you're just not going to be full. Right. Like you're talking about eating every basically 2.5 hours, right? So,
who's got time for
most people are not going to eat 3 complete meals every 2.5 hours. That's just not going to happen. So number 1 is eating enough food. Number 2 is eating the proper food. You should be eating until you're comfortably full, not vomiting full.
Right.
Okay. We all know what that feels like,
sure.
right? But you should be starting with meat and fat. Make sure you're getting enough protein. Over the course of those 8 hours, you want to be getting at least 100 to 150 grams of protein in. 100 should be your bare minimum amount of protein you're getting in. Protein's going to fill you up in the moment, but then you also need to get adequate fat because that's going to help satiate you to the next meal. If you are having a hard time getting that in, then when you look at your plate, there should be nothing but meat and fat. There should be no vegetables. And I'm not saying vegetables are bad. I'm saying that you should eat the meat first. Like we were trained growing up, you eat a salad first.
Right.
And then you eat your meat. Why? Well, because first of all, they said that the vegetables were better for you, which is not true. But it fills you up so you eat less meat because, again, remember, they're demonizing meat. So if you eat a whole bunch of salad and if you look at your plate, again, think about growing up, your plate was a lot of starches and vegetables and you had this much meat. Why the starch and meat? Because that's going to fill you up so you don't want to eat as much meat. But the meat is where all of your nutrition is.
Yeah. So
if you're having a hard time eating a lot in a sitting, and again, when you're narrowing yourself down to 8 hours, you're not really, having to worry about it as much. But what you want to do is make sure if you're having a hard time, your plate should not have desserts on it. Your plate should not have nuts on it. Your plate should not have vegetables on it because you want to get that meat in first and then you can have the other stuff. The other thing is 12-8 is really not that difficult.
No.
Let's think about for a second. You're going to sleep for 8 hours. That's 8 out of your 12 hours right there.
I love that.
Now, you should be stopping eating about 2 hours before you go to bed. So now we're at 10 hours.
Yeah.
So it's literally get up and don't eat for 2 hours, and you've now fasted for 12 straight hours.
I think that is definitely important too, is choosing the time that works best for you to incorporate fasting. Leverage sleep is great. Like that's great because you're getting credit, but you're not conscious for it. Like I love that. And then find what works best for you for the other bookend hours. So if you're somebody that's like, hey, I do great with breakfast, do not be afraid of breakfast.
Right.
If that is really what's going to sustain you, and you're like, it's way easier for me to skip dinner and feel like fine going into the rest of my evening than it is to skip breakfast and feel like I'm not fueled for work.
Right.
Right. So for me, Joe does better with dinner. Like he's always just been better with dinner. I do better with making sure that I have breakfast and I can skip dinner. No problem at all.
Yeah. Now I will say, it just occurred to me as I was now looking at this, like 12-8 is actually not the right math. That's what they put down. But most people would do 16-8.
16-8.
But still, it's really finding the right time, eating the right foods, and making sure you're consuming your electrolytes. Let's take a quick fade to black.
No, seriously, we did it.
Yeah, John said, that's what my gastric sleeve surgeon told me. Eat protein first, but he didn't say how much. Okay, next one we have is from Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
6 best doctors in the world. Sun, rest, exercise, diet, self-respect, and real friends.
Okay, I have nothing to add to that. That is conclusive.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll add into their God. Next one is from Kale Ranch.
Hello.
Rachel, I know you answered her, but I thought a lot of people would want to hear this real quick. I want to clean up my hair products that I have my diet. I want to stop using color on my hair. Any pointers on what you can give me?
Well, first of all, congratulations, because I do think that is the best thing for us, is to just allow our natural color to shine through. And what I've learned since 2020, when you guys gave me permission to stop dyeing my hair, because I was really worried about it, is everybody's gray is going to be different. Okay. So celebrate that. So you may have an image in your mind of somebody that looks fantastic with gray hair. Maybe like Andy McDowell looks fantastic with gray hair. Her gray hair is going to look different than your gray hair. So that's number one. Next thing I'm going to say is you may want to, and if you look in the Facebook group, there's a lot longer to talk about, but using, different hair care products that doesn't have like the sulfates in it, like doesn't have like a buildup, something that's really going to be a clarifying shampoo and conditioner is going to be key. You're not going to want to have as many products, because as your hair turns white and gray, it makes it vulnerable to product buildup that makes it look brassy. So that's something that you're really going to want to eliminate. Also, give yourself some grace, because this is going to take time. And honestly, the hardest part is seeing what we used to always be the trigger. Like it was almost Pavlov's dog response, that as soon as I start to see grays here, I need to reach for the bottle.
Which is what resulted in us coloring your hair once a month.
Right. So that was, so there was lots of overcoloring going on. So just understand that this is going to fill in, and it's going to feel like it takes forever for it to do that. So you can also help the process along by getting some toning done. Go to your local hairdresser and say, hey, I'm planning on going all like gray, like just letting my natural hair color shine through. And they may help with some toning where they're like taking out the last of your hair coloring,
right,
to help kind of make it go along. And then also a haircut can help to mix in the colors as it's coming in.
Do you miss your coloring your hair?
Not a bit.
Because like I pushed you for it.
And I was so afraid.
And then you were like, no. I kept telling you, like, I'm sorry.
Well,
I mean, this is going to sound bad, especially because we have an audience of mostly women. But I find gray hair hot.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
It's a good thing.
But so I find it very sexy. And so I like kind of was like, just let your hair go. Plus guess who colored her hair? Like
Right.
I did all the coloring, right? And it was every month and it was always different. But you were so afraid and you're like, what are people going to think? You took it
I
to
thought
the
it would make
audience.
me look very old.
So do you
And
miss it? I don't miss having to color it.
I don't miss it. I don't think that it makes me look old. I do think that you have to maybe change your wardrobe up a little bit.
Right.
I was somebody that always wore gray. Gray was my favorite color. Gray is the color that I think is the most comfortable color. But I did find that suddenly when my hair was gray and then my outfit matched it and my skin tone was kind of close to it, that it just completely washed me out. So I think that you may have to go and try on some different colors and see how that works.
Yeah, the only color I really loved on your hair was the
Orange.
the orange.
But it was like clown orange.
I loved it. When we got married, have you ever seen our wedding picture?
Clown.
That was my favorite.
Wasn't redhead.
Next one is from Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
I'm going to a soup at potluck next week, and I'm looking for ideas for delicious soup that even non-keto friends would love.
Nice.
Keto chow pumpkin sausage soup.
That is the soup.
That's the one.
Bam.
That's the one.
Yeah. It's
delicious. You can
delicious.
make a nice chicken noodle soup with homemade bone broth and stuff like that. But if you want something that's going to just blow people's mind,
it's that.
Like a clam chowder kind of thing. Keto chow pumpkin sausage soup. And the best part is that you can use the link down below. You can get keto chow at 10% off. And pumpkin spice is in season right now, so you can get that. Now, if you don't have pumpkin spice, you can use salted caramel.
Yes, salted caramel will work fantastic.
Okay, and just throw in some pumpkin spices. But that's the one that you're going to use.
Yeah.
That's the one you're going to make. Next one's from Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, guys, does anyone know of any videos that Joe and Rachel have posted about what the cruise experience will be like? I'm trying to purchase packages on the app, but I'm not certain what is already available with our ticket, if it makes any sense. Okay, so if you go through our channel, just Google Two Crazy Ketos Cruise. You're going to find lots of things about us being on cruises and keeping it keto.
Right.
If you look at the one like from last December, you're going to find we kind of go through like the low carb cruises, like what we do, those kind of things. As far as the cruise, so because I know you're going on the back-to-back cruises. So
yes.
What we're doing is, unfortunately, Freedom of Seas does not have a meeting room.
We are still working.
So, but what we're working on doing is we will have activities. First of all, during a sea day when you're not in port. So the first cruise out of the 4, technically 5 days, but 4 days because 5th day is you're getting off, right? On the 4 days, 3 of them you're going to be on the ship. You're not going to a port. So there are a lot of activities on the ship. Okay, they are all included unless you do something like I want to play bingo.
Right.
I will tell you, like, you can go to the art auction. You don't have to bid.
Oh, it was so fun.
If you're into champagne, you get free champagne. Just putting it out there, right? But all of those things are free. Okay. Now, there are a couple of excursions where you can go see the wheelhouse and that kind of stuff, but pretty much all the activities are going to have games and activities. That's all included. In addition, Rachel and some of the other people are putting together activities that you can do, that we will do together as a group, that are optional.
Right.
We are working with Royal Caribbean. They are trying to find a place where every day we will have a place where we can meet for 2 hours, where you can have like a board games or things like that. On the MSC cruise, they're actually working on giving us a room for the entirety of the cruise. So we're still working with them, but that's a year away. But for this year, we're working on having a room for like 2 hours. And after that, a lot of people are just going to hang out. Like, you're going to find us
so much stuff
in the pool. In the evening is when all the shows are. And so a lot of times we all get together and say, okay, who wants to go to a show? It's all completely optional. The only like real planned everybody together is dinner. And so we arrange the seating. We all sit together. Rachel and I go to different tables every single night. And then a lot of people are like, okay, I want to go to this show. We're going to go to that. We go to karaoke.
Game shows.
That is all included.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you just have to decide if you want to do excursions in places.
Right.
Next one is from Better Health, Better Man.
Speaking as a former coastie here, I swore to never set foot on another large boat again. However, I've been keto carnivore since 2018. I've tried desperately to convince and encourage my wife to join me. Unfortunately, even though I lost 100 pounds of fat and have started working out and getting stronger, I'm 54 years old now, she still listens to her doctor that tells her she is still healthy in her obesity and that keto is dangerous. Top it all off that our friends live for dinner parties and wine gatherings. She will not commit to changing. Next year is our 30th anniversary. Wow. I may try and convince her to go on this cruise, but if I tell her it's a gathering of keto people, I'm not sure she's going to go for it.
Okay.
Don't Lion King us.
Don't Lion King it. That's
it's
number
keto.
1. Okay, so here's the thing. I want to give you some encouragement. I will be 55 years old during this year's cruise.
Right.
My mother was a medical oncologist. She is, I don't know how old.
86 years old.
86, thank you. I just know what year she was born, but I don't do math. So she's 86 years old. My mother was in the first graduating class, or one of the first graduating classes, female from University of Miami. She was a medical oncologist. She spent her entire life helping people. And when I lost a bunch of weight on keto, she looked at me and said, you need to gain weight.
Right.
Okay. She did not necessarily agree with my lifestyle. She has been convinced as a doctor by the medical establishment and drug companies and what is recommended that eating a lot of meat causes cancer.
Right.
That, you have to eat a lot of vegetables. You have to do all of that. And my mother has tried pretty much every eating lifestyle there is. Okay. I remember her having nut dogs.
Yeah. Vegan,
right?
Vegetarian.
So I've been doing this for 8 years, almost 9 years now.
And it's only just
And
lately.
it's only really in the last year that my mother's like, there's something to this.
Right.
And now my mother is really eating this lifestyle. Now she's had some health scares.
Yes, she has.
Right. And I know my sister said they did 5 days of carnivore as like a cleanse. And all of a sudden her joint pain was gone. But it's taken my mom 8 years to jump on board.
Right.
So it may take your wife some time. Some of it is she needs to see encouragement. Some of it is there needs to be more doctors, and you're seeing that. More and more doctors are starting to go, hey, getting rid of the overly processed foods, getting rid of the sugars and the breads and stuff is not a bad idea.
Well, I think that what can be powerful about the cruise, if you're thinking like, hey, use this cruise as like maybe a catalyst for her thinking about this lifestyle for herself. I think that this is a great opportunity for her. Why? Because she enjoys having a party atmosphere and she just can't picture it without the carbs and the alcohol. And we have a blast.
Right.
So it's like you can see it lived out before you try to do it for yourself, at home.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to throw any specific person under the bus, but there is
Rachel.
somebody. No, there is somebody who is coming on this year's cruise.
Yeah.
Who came on one of our cruises.
Uh-huh.
She came on the cruise. As a matter of fact, this person went to a conference, got dragged to the conference with somebody else, wanted nothing to do with keto at all.
Okay.
And when they left the cruise, they started eating keto and carnivore. They wanted nothing to do with it. They were going with this other person. The other person was keto and carnivore, but not the person who I'm talking about. And now she is keto and carnivore and coming on the cruise alone.
And doing fantastic.
Yeah. So you don't know what's going to happen. And I want to make sure I say this right. I love Debbie Hubbs and the low carb cruise. The low carb cruise is what got Rachel into cruising. Because Rachel,
forever grateful.
She did not want to go.
No.
I forced her into the low carb
scared.
cruise. I forced her. She's like, I don't want to go. I'm going to get seasick. I don't want to go. And then got off. She's like, when's the next cruise? Right. I love the low carb cruise, but the low carb cruise is a meeting of a bunch of keto people. And there are meetings. And so if you bring a non-keto person, they're going to be like, no, not interested.
Right. Or they may go to.
But for us, for our cruise, this is just community. it's not like the whole ship is keto.
No.
Okay. You have 58 of us that are keto. And now there may be other people on the ship, but they're not changing the menu for us. This is not like the whole ship and you're going on a ship and like everything is catered to us. No, you can eat what you want. So she'll be with 58 other people during dinner for, eating for that community, but the rest of the time she can do whatever she wants. And there's no getting together and being pushed. And there are a lot of people who go who literally are not keto and they're just there to have a cruise and an inexpensive cruise.
And that is okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you don't know what will happen on the cruise.
You just don't know. And what is awesome is that whatever she eats, even when we're together at main dining, like no one cares.
No one cares.
And so it just takes the pressure off. You come to anything and you're feeling like I have to change myself in order to be a part of this community. And it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You really don't.
Next one is from JJ.
Hey, JJ.
I saw someone post, I answered this, but I'm going to say because I know people keep asking. I saw someone post something about KPL coming back next year. Are you all going to reschedule? If that's the case, I'd love to go on this cruise. It's perfect for me because I'm always out of school that week.
Yay!
I already talked to my wife into it. JJ is coming on next year's cruise.
I'm so excited.
And I just wanted to address this here. We addressed it on the live the other night, but just for people who didn't see that, no, we are not changing because of Ketopalooza. Yes, unfortunately, it does turn out that Ketopalooza announced a couple days or about a day after we announced our cruise that it would be at the end of that same week. So you will have to make a decision. The reason we are not changing, number one, it's very difficult to change.
Yes.
I could have changed before making any reservations, but there really are no other times because unless we got into mid-December and then the price was going up. There was nothing available in September for the amount of cabins that we needed, so we couldn't do September. And we really looked at it this. Even if we did change, or even if Autumn said, "Oh, I don't want to be the same week as Joe and Rachel," I would love her to say that because then I could go. Okay?
Right.
But I do believe that most people could not do both.
No,
I know that it would be a struggle for us to do both. If we made it the week before or the week after, or she did, gone and then come home and then go right back, and then the financial burden.
Yeah, it's like getting off of work and the financial burden. I think that people are going to have to make a decision either way.
Yeah, so even if we made it a month apart, I think most people, that's why we do ours. We do our cruise at this time of the year because the low carb cruise is in like May, June.
Yeah.
And we want people to have enough time. We don't want to step on anybody's toes.
So I think this is the greatest compliment that Terry D could give us. And that is my husband, Mike, is coming on the 4-night cruise this December by attending the Central Florida meetup, the Western New York meetup, and a visit to Joe and Rachel's with zero pressure to change. That was key. No one cared if he had a bun. And I think that is such a beautiful compliment. Thank you for sharing that, Terry. And I really cherish that Mike feels that way about us. That's what I want. That's what I want everybody to have the experience of, no matter where you are with the 2KK family, right? That we just love you. And we want to be friends first. And yes, we happen to believe that you don't have to have a bunch of carbs in your life to have a happy one, and we'll demonstrate that in front of you. But I think it's key to somebody even dipping a toe in keto that they feel welcome, that they don't feel like, man, we've got to clean all the fish before they get them in the boat,
And that's the difference. This is going to sound bad, but I'm going to say it anyway because I want to. That's the difference between us and many of the vegans that I know.
Yeah.
Because our community is not like that. Rachel had a vegan friend.
Yes.
And we went out to eat with her. And the entire time that I took a bite of food, she was like, you're killing an animal. And I'm like, no, we're not like that. Our community is not like that.
And it grieved me so much for that because this was somebody that I was good friends with in high school. We were really close. I loved her. And I love my husband, and I wanted those two worlds to come together. And I understood that we ate differently, but I did not see that. We weren't
keto or carnivore. We were just standard American diet.
I didn't see that as a barrier to our friendship. I didn't think it needed to be a barrier to our friendship. And so I was so looking forward to introducing my husband to my friends and us hopefully like hitting it off as like two couples that could go places together. And it didn't even have to be like going out to eat. We could go bowling together. We could go mini golf, like, right? And they just made it impossible to have a friendship.
We left that meal and I looked at her and I said, I will never eat anything with that one. I won't go to a party with that woman.
Because again, we were not fully keto. We just had meat as part of a meal.
We went to a Thai restaurant.
We went to an Indian restaurant of their choosing.
Yes.
And so we were just making it work. And every single bite of food my husband took, they made fun of him. Well, what does that look like as far as future
Now, it wasn't
friendship?
her husband because he was not a vegan.
No, but it was just like that made it impossible for us to be
so
friends.
you will not encounter that.
No.
You will not encounter that.
Yeah.
Next one's from Melinda.
Hey, Melinda.
I have finally hit the milestone where going out to eat doesn't seem worth it anymore.
Yeah.
To eat clean keto at a restaurant, they're so expensive and honestly disappointing. I'm not talking about going out for a special occasion, but just running errands in town for a day. It's just not worth trying to find something to eat. It always ends up just being blah. I can make my own food at home that is way more satisfying. I just tried 2 pork ribeyes and half a yellow pepper dipped in sour cream and ranch. Yum.
I think you had this last week.
I think we did. I just forgot to take it
But
out.
it's still true,
Yes.
right? Like, I mean, and I think that Andy and Susan proved that this week by like eating at home for their anniversary, but it being like steak and shrimp and pork belly and basically everything that you would eat at a fancy steakhouse that costs like a lot of money.
The only reason we go out to eat for close to our birthday is buy one, get one for $1 at
Texas.
Rodizio.
Yeah.
That is it.
It's because the coupon.
Next one is from Jean.
Hey, Jean.
Costa Maya, Mexico is basically a port selling cheap stuff. Not much to do there. For the most part, I agree. But
it's got the massages.
Okay, so for those of you who are going to go to Costa Maya on a cruise, or like if you're going to go to on the low carb cruise, which is going to Costa Maya, this is actually one of the reasons I've been looking for a cruise for Rachel and I to go on the MSC Seashore so we can give you a video of what to expect on the ship.
Right.
And unfortunately, I want a 7-day. Like, I'm done with 4-day cruises. But I wanted a 7-day, and it was very dirt cheap, but it was going to Costa Maya. And I'm like, I've just been to Costa Maya. I'm already going there twice next year. No, I don't. And it wasn't going to the private island.
Oh.
And I'm like, I kind of want to see their private island.
Right,
to
me
let
too.
You guys know what it is. So we're going to do a 4-night.
Okay.
That just goes Nassau, which is, and you want a place that just sells cheap stuff, go to Nassau. But here's if you're going to Costa Maya, here's what you do. Here's our number one. We did the last couple times rent a golf cart. We've learned you don't need to do that.
You don't need to.
$5. You take a taxi. There are tons of them.
Gajillions.
You get out the port. You take a taxi. You go to the Krazy Lobster
with a K.
Now I will tell you, we tried a couple of the other ones last time. Don't go to the other ones. There was nothing, but we actually rented the golf cart and we went to a couple of. It wasn't the same, and it was more expensive.
Right.
You take the taxi. You go over Krazy Lobster.
Krazy Lobster.
It's like a little Mexican beach resort. The food is really cheap. It is very delicious.
Very good.
They have a beach area that they keep very clean, loungers, they have paddle boards, all that kind of stuff there. You get to use all that stuff for free. You're supposed to eat and drink there, but you can spend like $20 and you're done. And don't get a massage on the cruise. 1 hour, $20.
25.
No, that was 25. The other lady.
No, it was.
It went up. It went up. It was $25.
$25.
What did the other lady charge?
She was charging
the half-hour one.
She was charging 20 because it was 40 for the hour. This is 25 for the hour.
$25 for an hour. I mean, very, very relaxing. So
very relaxing.
That's what you do. Other than that, no, there's not much. But here's the good news. A lot of people don't know this. Royal Caribbean bought the whole port.
Yeah.
And they are building a lot there. And now other cruise lines, my understanding is from reading this stuff through travel agents, the other cruise lines will be able to go there. They just haven't worked out the details, but they are actually building this entire resort there. So Costa Maya, I think by the end, they're ambitious. They're looking at doing it
by next year.
By the end of next year. But it is going to be a completely different port. They're also building a Coco Cay kind of place in Cozumel. So, next one is from Robin.
Hi, Robin.
You do realize that carnivore means no carbs. low carb is keto. Your body turns all carbs into sugar.
So-
I had to put this in here.
Oh, Joe, this is on the marshmallow thing.
I had to put this in there. Okay. A, carnivore is not zero carbs. I'm sorry.
Ask the egg.
Carnivore is not zero. Carnivore is extremely low carb. Carnivore, if you want the true definition, is consuming only foods that come from animals.
Right.
Which means that cream and cheese is carnivore.
Right.
Okay.
Comes from an animal.
Milk is carnivore.
Comes from an animal.
Okay. So carnivore is consuming foods that come from an animal.
Right.
That is what carnivore is. It is not, it's zero carb. Because carnivore is not zero carb. It is extremely low carb.
Right.
Okay. So, for example, beef liver has like 4 carbs in a serving, and it's a small serving.
And those carbs are not turning into sugar in your body.
Right.
Don't worry.
Scallops, lobster, they all have carbs. There's technically carbs in the beef that you're eating. Now, it's minute trace amounts,
Sure.
which you don't have to worry about. There is a carb in an egg. There is carbs in butter. It's
Yes.
it's a very small amount.
Very
There is
residual.
carbs. There's carbs in yogurt. There are carbs in heavy cream. There's 0.413 carbs for every tablespoon. There are carbs in milk. So carnivore is not zero carb. It's just very low carb. That's number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, if you really want to get this way with us, okay, and talk about how like you should be eating zero carbs and you need to be a true carnivore, meaning you only consume food from animals, that means you better never be consuming pepper, garlic, basil, oregano, coffee, okay? Because all of that stuff has carbs and none of it's from an animal.
This is not from an animal.
So all spices and herbs
There is a crab, which is an animal, on the outside of my coffee mug. You're telling me this does not count?
No. So all spices can have carbs. All spices and herbs have carbs. When you look at the label, it says 0, but it's not 0 because they say a serving size is 1/4 teaspoon. But when you multiply it out, it has it. So, and again, I'm not trying to get on my horse. This person wanted to get on their high horse with us. So I'm just putting it out there that let's clear some things up. So the other thing is your body does not turn all carbs into sugar. It does not turn fiber carbs into sugar. That's where this whole net carb thing comes from. The problem is the net carb thing that product companies use is not the same thing. Your body will not turn the fiber in a stick of celery, though I don't know why anybody would want to eat dental floss every day. It does not turn that fiber into fuel, into sugar. Okay. The problem is the food products we're using, they're basically making up fibers,
Right.
like soluble corn fiber and that kind of stuff.
And you don't have control over what that does in your
Right.
body.
So that does not. And then also, let's also talk about allulose does not get turned into a sugar in your body. It does not raise your glucose. It does not raise your insulin. As a matter of fact, it helps your body produce GLP-1s.
I think there's always going to be some people that are really aggravated if somebody that's called Too Crazy Ketos dares to say the word carnivore as if it's dirty in our mouth. But that's just kind of tough titty as far as I'm concerned. Tough titty, said the kitty when the milk went dry.
Okay.
Because I think that there are some people that are now ready, even if they've been carnivore for a while, they're willing to expand what's going on in their pantry and their refrigerator.
Yep.
And we're here for you.
And if you look at that recipe for our marshmallow, other than allulose, every single thing in it comes from an animal.
Yeah.
And that's so go look at a store-bought marshmallow. That is not the case.
Yes.
So, allulose, I think, is the best sweetener alternative out there. It is a natural sweetener. It has a lot of health benefits. They're actually now tying it to being an appetite suppressant.
Yeah.
So, there are a lot of benefits. Now, I'm not saying go eat an entire batch of marshmallows, but I will say, I'm going to challenge you, like, if you haven't made it yet, you're not going to be able to eat more than 2 of those marshmallows in a sitting.
Oh my gosh. It is so sweet and so decadent.
And that's if you cut them the size I did.
You are it's like I'm done for the night. If you're like, gosh, I'd like a little something sweet. You're
Eat a
done.
marshmallow. Yep.
You're done after you eat one of those.
Okay, so let's get into some questions. Sabrina,
Sabrina.
Who is going on the cruise?
Yay! The MSC one.
MSC one. Does anyone have a recommendation on what mushroom coffee is best bang for your buck with good ingredients. We used to have one, and I don't remember which one
We
we
did. What's the one that we used to use? Was it Rise?
I don't remember.
I'll have to look. It's been a while. I do like what mushrooms can do for you. I particularly like keto brains as like a coffee creamer. That's doing my mushroom work for me. Although I thought it was absolutely so precious this weekend. I went with John Paul and Michelle and the babies to participate in a trunk or treat that they were, putting on with their community networking group. And they were so cute. They went as Mario, Peyton was Princess Peach, Michelle was the other girl from Mario, Daisy. And then baby Parker was Toad, the little mushroom, as we're talking about. And then I was Yoshi. It was like super, super fun.
I stayed home and worked on taxes.
And yeah, Joe was working on taxes. And so my precious daughter was coming back from like the goat milk farmer that like she gets the goat milk from. And she was like, here. And she handed me some encapsulated lion's mane, because that's something that we do is like we will, dehydrate it and then we will pack it into capsules. But we haven't been able to do that lately because we've been so busy with stuff. And I just thought that was so precious because that lion's mane, that's a gift of like, I love you, Mom, and I want your brain to continue working. So lion's mane is my favorite.
Lolo said, my son knew the low-carb cruise was going to be meetings for me. I told him he could eat whatever he wanted. No keto, please. He enjoyed the cruise and Alaska. Hopefully one of my friends will come in October.
That is so awesome.
Trish said, Costa Maya has an amazing place 20 minutes outside the port for snorkeling and beach time. Can taxi there and buy day. Yeah, and again, we rented a golf cart, and then afterwards we realized the reason I'm afraid to rent taxis and stuff is because how do you get the taxi when you want to come back? And we want to come back whenever.
But there were plenty.
But there are so many there that we decided next time we're just going to do that. Listen, by the way, for those of you who have questions about cruises, okay, remember, I'm a travel agent and I can book your cruise for you. But if you want to know the details, the expert cruiser in our group is actually Trish.
Trish and Bob
So
Reed.
just go hit them up on
Mighty
Networks because she's the expert.
I am
she
so
pretty
sorry,
much
Trish. We're like sending everybody
cruise.
to you, but I am telling you,
she lives on a cruise.
I've
learned so much from her.
Knowledgeable. And they're also very approachable.
Yes.
So Trish and Bob are just really
I'm
lovely
really
people.
bummed that they're not coming this year.
And the thing is that, you know how they say, like, people are afraid because they're like, is this a dumb question? Because I'm coming with like a newbie question about cruising. Trish never makes me feel like I'm asking a dumb question, even when I feel like in the pit of my stomach, this is a dumb question. She always just has so much grace and patience. And so don't worry about it. Ask her. She's super, super knowledgeable and always willing to share advice.
Yeah. And Andy said our first cruise was 2019. We were hooked. Too bad we had to wait for our next cruise in 2023.
Yes.
But we've been on 2 cruises a year since. We love it with 2KK.
I love it too. Yeah, man, that would totally bum me out too. So we did not discover cruising until post Lord Voldemort year, but that would have sucked, Joe, if we like started cruising like in 2019 and then be like, no. I'm very excited for more cruising. And then you're thinking, am I ever going to be able to cruise again? So glad we were able to come back.
Tanya said you look younger now than when you had colored your hair.
God bless you, Tanya.
Linda said she gets more respect since she went gray.
I believe that.
Cindy was in a tournament and she came in 4th place for her age bracket, competing with other women as well as men. Came in first last weekend for the women's senior tournament.
Congratulations, Miss Cindy.
And I know she's not in here, but I just have to give a shout out to Juliana. Like, she's been putting up pictures from the Vegas.
She's been in Vegas. She's been doing, just having a big time. And
she looks amazing.
And I love the fact that whether or not like she's competing in a bodybuilding competition, I believe that she has gotten it in her spirit that she is a bodybuilder, that the body that she is blessed with, she is going to build it.
Yeah.
And I love that. Now, I did see that Gail had a birthday, and I wanted to make sure that we sang a belated birthday. Happy birthday to her. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gail. Happy birthday to you and many more. So many more. I love you, girl.
So John said, I didn't know Celsius has maltodextrin. I never use it. Just the sticks.
Yeah, just the sticks.
pretty much every stick, like Crystal Light sticks, all of those are going to have maltodextrin.
Yeah.
Okay. All of them will. If they don't have maltodextrin, they're going to have, they're usually going to have like erythritol.
Right.
Okay. But they have to, it's just like anything else. They have to bind it to something to make it a powder. So he said, I usually drink Monster, but they don't have a powder version yet. On Royal Caribbean, I could bring some, not on MSC. I'm going to look at, I believe you can bring the Mio and stuff on MSC.
Yeah. We'll just make
but
sure.
I will find out.
But at least that's something.
Yeah. But again, it's a year away. John said, burn the consequences into your mind. Next time you won't be as tempted. Many things I love pre-keto that don't tempt me anymore because I remember the consequences.
It's painful. It's a painful thing. It really is.
Let's go down to the bottom because we're all the way at the top. Anything? Aaron's here said, my beard is moving towards the salt and pepper look, and I'm not mad at it.
I'm not either. Okay, so I'm going to just say, like, I'll notice, like, Joe's has gone, you know, like, much more white than when we got married. And like you said, I find it sexy. Like, when you get your little, like, it comes back in, it's all white.
Wasn't that...
I find that very sexy.
Why can't I think,
the black and
why can't I think
white.
of his name right now? Officer and a Gentleman. Richard Gere.
Wasn't
that like his claim to think because he was always
Silver,
salt and pepper?
Yes.
He was, and like
no one was mad at that.
Right?
Pretty Woman.
Terry said, does MSC have an app where we can communicate with each other on the cruise? If you don't have the package, that worked out great for telling people where to meet. Yeah, I believe they do, but again, that's a year away, so we will definitely find out about that. But for people going on this year's cruises, if you're not getting internet, then you do get access to free Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi is only on the ship. It doesn't give you internet. But in there, and Rachel will get into this as we get a little bit closer. If you get in, when you get in there, there's a little thing up on the top corner, and you can basically message people on the ship.
Right.
And we use that as like a text messaging app. Real quick before we get off, for those of you going on the 2KK cruises
in December
this year, check in, and we will send out reminders, remind you guys before then. But October 20th is when you can start checking in. So you can check in for the first cruise, October 20th. The second cruise, October 24th. The earlier you do your check-in, the better your boarding time is.
Right.
Now, you can do it on the app if you don't have your passport. It's going to get to a part where it says like scan your passport or whatever. You can just skip over that part. The most important thing is getting your boarding time. You go in, you put your name, and then it'll say what time. And you can, the other parts you can come back to later, like taking the picture. Like I will check us in, and I can't take Rachel's picture because I'm checking us in at midnight, and I don't think she's going to appreciate me like taking a picture of her like that.
Right.
But October 20th and October 24th, if you want the early boarding time, check-in begins at midnight. So midnight, the 19th into the 20th, you can check in at midnight. We always check in around midnight, and we always get 10:30 boarding time. So if you're like us and you want to get on super early, that's when you're going to check in. So it starts on, put it in your calendar now, check in on the 20th and on the 24th for the other one. If you're doing back to back, the second one does it. I would still get a check-in time, but it doesn't matter because you're literally going to, before the end of the first leg, they're going to give you your key for the second leg. You have to get off the ship because customs must inspect an empty ship. They have to see that everybody is off the ship. So what will happen is you're going to literally walk off, turn around, and walk right back on.
Right.
But you're going to have your key, and you don't have anything with you. All of your stuff is in your cabin. So for those people who are doing that, don't worry. Still get a boarding time. Still check in because you have to do the passport stuff, but don't worry about the time as much if you're doing the back-to-back. But I just wanted to let everybody know, don't miss that time. On both legs, we will have, I forget the name of the room. We have a room to be able to pick up like swag bags and kind of get together with everybody. from 1 to 4. The problem is the room that they gave us only holds 30 people. So it's not like everybody can be in there together.
I am sure
anyway.
that people will be
Are gonna
cycling
come in,
through
out, come in and
anyway,
come out.
because
Right.
that's usually what everybody does. Even when we have a conference room, is like people come and then
Right.
they want to go explore, which is smart. I see Sabrina talking about travel insurance. If you're interested in travel insurance, and we highly recommend it, send Joe a message. Let him know that you're interested in getting travel insurance, and he can help you kind of navigate that.
Okay, so couple that I'll say this, and then we can get off. Okay, for this year, the only way to get travel insurance at this point is you have to get it outside. Travel insurance must be purchased before final payment date. I'm going to say something. Please do not go on a cruise without travel insurance.
Right.
Okay. For a few reasons. I've mentioned this before, but number one, God forbid something happens in another country, the other countries will not take your insurance.
Right.
Okay. So even if your insurance company will pay for it, you're going to have to pay up front and get reimbursed. And people go to Mexico, you get hurt, you go to the hospital. The hospital won't even let you in the door many times.
Until you pay for
Until you pay. And even if you do, you can't leave the country until you pay it. Okay, so please make sure you get travel insurance. The other reason is you want to have a cancellation thing. I have a client right now that has to cancel a cruise. They are beyond final payment date. They did not get travel insurance, and now they're just out that money. You can't even go apply it. Oh, well, I can't go
roll it into another one.
Roll it. Nope, the money's gone.
So
so please make sure you get travel insurance. For next year, MSC, it really is. They're all age dependent, but MSC, it seems to be a lot more age dependent. So like I have one couple that always gets travel protection, and it's usually pretty reasonable with Royal Caribbean because of their age. MSC is through the roof. So we're going to go outside for them, which is actually better anyway. But with MSC, if you buy the travel insurance right now, that you pay that money and it's gone. Okay. It's non-refundable. So your deposit is fully refundable until July. So for the people who want travel insurance, as we get closer to July, I will send out a reminder, but I have a list of everybody who already said it. I'm going to say one more chance. Do you want it? And we get the travel insurance about a week or 2 weeks before final payment date. Because if right now your deposit's fully refundable anyway. That would not be the case if it wasn't a group cruise. If you're on a regular cruise, your deposit is not refundable. You would want the travel protection. But since your deposit is fully refundable, we do not purchase it until like the last week of June, because that saves you money if, God forbid, you have to cancel the cruise.
Exactly.
Okay. So, but always, I would get it. If you do if you do at least 2 to 3 trips a year, get as Terry said, get an annual plan. You can get an annual plan for as little as $400 for 2 people. Covers you as a couple. $400, and it covers all of your trips for the year. It's definitely worth it. We're gonna get off, so we will be back live on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Rachel will be back live at 10 a.m. Wednesday in the Mighty Networks paid group for her weekly coaching / whatever she's talking about call. To let you guys know, next week's Keto Beyond the Couch is going to be later. Okay,
right?
So I'm doing something with the boys on Sunday night. Rachel is babysitting or helping Michelle with the babies next Sunday night, and she's going to be staying at the house. So she's not going to be back here. She probably will just be getting back here around 10 o'clock. So we'll let you know more next week, but figure next week will be 12 o'clock. Yeah. We're going to go a little bit later to give her enough time to go from the kids' house to over here. It does take her 2 hours. I don't want her driving at night. So that'll just be what we'll do. And then it won't be much later than 12 o'clock anyway, because we have to get ready to be going to Texas.
Texas.
Okay, everybody, have a great day.
We love you.